Chapter 3. January 5th, 1947, at St Andrew's Home for Boys. The very large, grey Victorian building in Bethnal Green, East London, looms forbiddingly over the street. Once a workhouse, it was bought by the church and is now run by nuns. Cold and damp, it has become Kat's home for the past few years. Like most of the orphans, Kat has developed a thick skin and uses humour as one of his main defences. He's the clown of the class, partly because he can't make sense of the writing on the book pages. He's dyslexic, though in these days people like him are simply considered stupid. But far from it. But schooling remains a chore for Kat. He plays up to his image and has discovered a talent for mimicking the other boys, the nuns, and even animal sounds. Most of his adopted siblings accept that he's coloured with ginger hair and a smattering of freckles across his face. Each day starts with a cold sink wash at 6 a.m, followed usually by lukewarm porridge without milk or sugar, as rationing continues at St Andrew's long after the rest country has moved on. Occasionally, as a real treat, they get a dippy egg with toast. The rest of the day is spent in school under Sister Josephine, the kindest woman in the world. The boys see her as their adopted mother and compete for her affections. She's determined to prepare these disadvantaged boys for the world by teaching them their 3 R's. But what she's really teaching them is that they're loved. Her mission is to raise boys with manners and self-respect. She knows they'll face difficult lives. Some will likely be in and out of prison, but she can improve their chances. She'll be satisfied. On this icy cold winter morning, the boys and Sister Josephine are reciting the 7 times table. Ice forms on the inside of the windows, and as the children, all wearing hats and scarves, speak in unison, their breath is visible in the frigid air. 7 sevens are 49. 8 sevens are... A muffled boom resonates underfoot, and the floor vibrates. Now, boys, all stay put and please keep quiet. I'll be back in a few minutes. Sister Josephine tries not to show her concern as she hurries from the room. The boiler room in the basement is reminiscent of the Blitz. Thick smoke hangs at eye level until the door opens and it dissipates. When the air clears, the devastation becomes apparent. There's a football-sized hole in the side of the ancient boiler, its edges peeled outwards like an orange. Through the remaining smoke, Mother Superior and Sister Josephine and Eric, the caretaker, are startled to see a boy sitting on the far side of the room, at least 20 feet away. Kat sits covered in soot, his clothes shredded, with shrapnel from the iron cylinder embedded in the floor and walls around him, as though he's part of a knife-throwing act at the circus. His eyes are wide open, looking like a cartoon character with black face and white eyes. "It wasn't my fault, honest. I was trying to fix the heating because it's so cold," Kat pleads. As Sister Josephine examines Kat for injuries, Mother Superior scolds him for risking his life and that of everyone in the orphanage. She's furious. The boiler has been failing for weeks, and with it all being so cold, they'll struggle to keep the orphanage open without a replacement. "You'd better go see the nurse and see if you need hospital treatment. Otherwise, get yourself cleaned up and into bed while I decide your punishment." Eric stands scratching his head, looking from the hole in the boiler to where Kat was found, then back again, like a spectator at Wimbledon. He can't figure out how anyone could survive such an explosion, seemingly unharmed. As he begins clearing the mess, he discovers monkey nut shells scattered amongst the shrapnel. He shrugs, continues tidying, and mutters repeated to himself, "That bloody half-caste kid will be the death of us." Kat has a history of tampering with mechanical devices. He seems to instinctively understand how things work just by looking at them. Previously, he dismantled the broken wireless one afternoon, fascinated by the valves and circuits inside. Eric had tried to fix it, but given up, leaving it for scrap. When he found Kat with the radio in pieces, he was just about to give the boy a clip round the ear. "Don't bother, it's finished," Eric said. No, I can fix it. I know I can," Kat replied. To Eric's irritation, Kat asked for a soldering iron and some wire. Against his better judgment, Eric provided them. Later that day, they gathered around the repaired wireless to listen to Much Binding in the Marsh, a comic show set in the RAF station during the war. With so few programmes of interest to the boys, this satirical look at the military, red tape and real delight earning Kat pats on the back that day. The winter of 1946-47 was one of the coldest on record in Britain. The boiler at St Andrew's was beyond repair, and it looked as though the boys would be split up and moved to orphanages across London. At the 11th hour, the church found the money to replace it with a brand new one, transforming Kat from villain to hero overnight. Kat managed to stay out of trouble for the next few weeks, until one day he interrupted a fight between his best mate Billy Stedman and Stephen McAllister, the school bully. Billy was doing his best, but was being overpowered by Stephen, who was older and stronger. Stephen had pinned Billy to the ground and was raining punches into his face. "Get off him, Stephen, you fat, ugly dope," Cat demanded. Stephen rose to his feet, rolling up his sleeves. "You've had it now, kitty cat." Cat knew he'd likely take a beating unless he could hurt Stephen early. Like all bullies, Stephen would lose interest if he thought he might get hurt. Cat launched himself forward and slapped the side of Stephen's head with an open hand as hard as he could. This forced air into Stephen's ear. The pain was intolerable, and he fell to the floor. The fight was over. It took days for the ringing in Stephen's ear to stop completely, and he kept his head down for the time being. From that moment, Cat won respect from all the boys at St Andrews, but it also created a hatred in Stephen that would surface again in the future. Mother Superior frowned upon Cat's heroic action, but Sister Josephine came to his defence, arguing that he had actually defended his friend. It was Stephen who received punishment for his bullying. End of chapter 3.